I'ma chase my dream. Yeah.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Transparently D, where I'm keeping it 100% transparent in the life of D. Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing? How y'all day going? How y'all month of February going? Today is February 18th, 2025. And this morning, I have a newborn. I delivered. Yay! So, I think I already uploaded a video of me being in labor. So if you haven't seen that, go watch that. At that point, we had been there about 12 hours because I had to be induced. So I'm just gonna tell you briefly about what happened. So my appointment was on Valentine's Day, February 14th. I had an appointment at 1 with my OB, and then at like 2:30 with my maternal fetal medicine doctor. And I went to my appointment at 1 o'clock. I was telling my doctor, and I was having really bad headaches, and I was seeing spots, and I was having blurry vision. And so we checked everything out, and she came in and told me that they tested my urine and that I was preeclamptic. But it wasn't like, you need to go to the hospital right now and deliver kind of thing. And I was like, okay. So my induction date was scheduled for the 17th of February. It would have been yesterday anyway. So we signed the paperwork and the consents and stuff for the 17th. And she said, well, I have to check you. I said, okay, well, are you going to strip my membranes? She said, you want me to strip your membranes? I said, yes. And she was like, well, I'm really good at it. So typically if I strip your membranes, then you're going to be in here tonight. I was like, I don't care. Strip my membranes. And so, long story short, we finished that visit, and I went to maternal fetal medicine, which is in the same like office building. It's just on a different floor. And I gave them urine, and they took vital signs and ultrasound. They did ultrasound and everything, and then you go see the provider. And so the doctor was talking to me about her position, and that she was head down, and that, you know, how everything was looking. And he was just asking me how am I feeling and how am I doing. And then I started telling him about the headaches and the blurred vision and the seeing spots. And then he's like, well, are they darker or are they bright? I was like, they're bright spots. You know, it's what I was seeing. And he said very calmly, he said, how determined are you to stay pregnant? I was like, I ain't determined to stay pregnant at all. I'm getting induced Monday. This girl got to go. She got to go. And he said, well, I asked you that because I am concerned. I'm concerned about your blood pressure. I'm concerned about your blood pressure because you don't have a baseline blood pressure. If you're already hypertensive, then I wouldn't worry as much. But since you don't have a history of high blood pressure, it's concerning for me. And the fact that you're seeing spots, you're having a headache, like, what's the benefit? At worst case scenario, you'll deliver at 37 weeks and 0 days, which we consider full term. The chances that you would need the NICU or anything is extremely slim. What is the benefit of us keeping you pregnant? And I was like, really, there's none. I mean, because she can gain weight outside, you know. We just don't know what her, you know, breathing would be like or whatever, you know, we may find or whatever. And he was like, okay, this is what I want you to do. He said, I'm going to call your OB and I'm going to talk to her. But what I want you to do is go have dinner. Have your Valentine's dinner. Grab your bags after the dinner and go to L&D. And we're going to induce you tonight. We're not waiting until Monday. So in my mind, I already set Monday as the date that we were going to be induced. But now he threw a monkey wrench into it. So I was like, okay. Okay, cool. So I called the mister. I'm like, listen, this is what the plan is. This is what we're going to do. I went back down to OB and I was like, hey, I just talked to MFM and they want me to be induced today. Like, so I just want to make sure that he conversed with you all and we all on the same page that I'm being induced today. So she sent her nurse out or whatever, and she was like, the doctor was with a patient, so she sent her nurse, and she was like, hey, she said, you need to go to L&D now then. I said, I don't even have my bags and stuff. I don't have anything. They was like, okay, go get your bags and stuff. Come back to L&D now. Now, with you all, I'm going to be transparent. I said, okay, yeah, I'm going to grab my bags and come right back. I left from there and went to King Claw, forgetting that it's Valentine's Day and that it's gonna be swamped because everybody trying to get their dinner and stuff in early, because this was still earlier in the daytime, you know, but so they don't have to sit and wait that at night. But honey, I went and sat at the bar and I had me the Captain King Claw boil with house sauce, medium, and a Sprite I think I drank, honey, and it was a good time. It was delicious. So I ate and got full and then I went home and Steven had gotten, no, I went and got Skylar. Steven got Steven Jr. and we met back up at the house. The bags really was already in. The gag is the bags was in my car. So I really could have just went right to L&D right then and been done with it. But ain't nobody got time for that. And then we went to the hospital. And so we had to sit there for hours. Like we sat there for probably 2 hours before they had a bed available. Because I was dragging my feet getting there. So they finally put us in the room. So I was finna go. I told her, I was like, listen, I'll come back Monday. Y'all seem like y'all really busy tonight. You know, I've been sitting here for 2 hours waiting on a bed, and my doctor said induce me. So y'all saying y'all was supposed to call me. I said, I called the number. By this time, she had gotten a charge nurse to come out to talk to me because I was just sitting there. So I told the charge nurse, I'm like, y'all just got me sitting here. And I'm supposed to be here for an induction. Oh no, you're gonna go through triage. They're gonna assess your blood pressure, then decide if they're gonna keep you. I said, that's not what I was sent here for. They didn't tell me that. I said, my doctor sent me here to be induced. They didn't send me here for you all to see if I needed to be induced. I was like, I'll go home. And so I had already made it on my mind. I was like, let's go, we can go home. Blah, blah, blah. She said, well, just wait. Let me call. So I guess, I don't know if they call maternal fetal medicine or if they call my OB, but whoever they called, they was unhappy that I was still sitting there and got right on her tail. And so they was like, no, we got your room. They finna come get you and put you in the room. Now they getting it I don't know if they was cleaning it or whatever they was doing, or they was setting up the room for me is what they was doing. And then they gonna come and get me. And so they came and got us, and they had a hard time getting the IV, but they did end up getting the IV in or whatever. And at about 12 o'clock, they started the induction process. They used the catheter balloon on me. They put that in, and probably at about 4. She would come in every hour and kind of tug on it to see if it would come out. But probably at about 4, I should have got off right now. Sorry, y'all, but on this side of Atlanta is very, very, very confusing. And if you miss that exit, you're gonna be way down before you can even come back around. But so that's why I had to focus right quick. Okay, anyway, So anyway, about 4, she could tug it, and it came out. So at that point, I was 4 centimeters dilated. I had no pain medication. I was just thugging it out. You know, it was hurting. Right, the contractions was there, but they weren't like unbearable. And then they came in and put on Pitocin, and they started at like 5 and let the Pitocin go. And then that's where, by the time you all see the video that I uploaded, by that time it was in the afternoon, and I want to say I was up to 10 or 12 on Pitocin. Them contractions was hurting like hell. Okay, when I tell you that mess hurt like hell. But it only hurt for a short period of time. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm good, you know. Long story short, I ended up getting the epidural after that video, because everybody was like, get pain meds, girl, get pain meds. You don't have to do that without no pain meds. That's crazy. Da, da, da. So I went ahead and I got the epidural, and I thank God in heaven above, I got the epidural. Praise God. So I was able to take just a little nap, probably only for like 30 minutes, and then I started feeling a massive pressure. Like, I was like, oh my God, I feel pressure. And so I was like, I told Steven, I said, go tell her I'm feeling pressure. I probably got to push. And so the nurse came in, and she was like, oh, your bag is bulging. It's just a bulging bag. You're 7 centimeters or whatever. And I was like, okay, whatever. It just got worse. The pressure got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. I was passing clots. I was bleeding. I had started bleeding earlier that day. And I told the nurse that, hey, listen, I'm bleeding. I really shouldn't be like bleeding, but I'm bleeding. It's clots dropping. I don't know what the heck is going on. She's telling me that she's reaching out to my physician and telling my physician what's going on. So, but they're not saying anything. They're not coming in. So I'm thinking everything is cool. So we rocking with it, and I'm freaking bleeding. And now this pressure has started. Mind you, I have a mass in my left upper quadrant that I'm like, did it burst? Like, I don't know what the heck is going on. I'm asking the nurse, are you calling the doctor? Did you call the doctor? I called her. She said she was coming, but she ain't here yet. I called her. Steven said one time he went out there to go get the girl, and she's sitting up there eating. That's why she sent somebody else in there. And I'm like, what? Mind you, my blood pressure through the roof. She didn't come in and assess me. She didn't come in and see what was going on. She didn't ask her for no meds. I'm thinking that she's calling the doctor. She really was not calling the doctor. Didn't tell the doctor what was going on. Nothing. The doctor had no clue that I was bleeding. She had no clue that my blood pressure was elevated. She didn't even know. All she knew is that I was having pressure and I was 7 centimeters dilated. Yet this nurse told me that she was calling the doctor, and that she was letting the doctor know that I was having pressure and that I was bleeding and I'm passing clots. And she's telling me that she's telling the doctor that, when really she's not. So my doctor comes in. My doctor's a happy doctor. So she comes in all willy-nilly and, hey, y'all already have a baby. I had to see my postpartum patients, child, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm like, first thing I said to her is like, you don't care nothing about me. And she was like, wait, what? It caught her off guard. Yeah, I do care about you. What you talking about? I'm here. We're gonna have a baby. It's okay, blah, blah. But in my mind, the nurse had been calling her for all this time, and she didn't come. And she didn't come because she didn't care. To her, nobody ain't called her and told her nothing. She just think I'm ready to have a baby, so she coming. Total lack of communication. Total lack of communication. Totally, that nurse totally dropped the freaking ball. She ain't drop it. She threw that sucker. So where I thought my doctor was neglecting me, really this nurse was neglecting me. Mind you, I know everybody's on this race thing and, You know, buy black. Only go to black. Black. This was a black nurse. I could have bled to death. Then she had the audacity. After I had, okay, so bottom line is, doctor say push, I'm pushing. I could feel the baby coming out. She tell me, okay, you got to remember to push again. Push, whatever. I pushed 2 rounds of 3, and the baby was born. My placenta come out. I have a full placenta abruption. So the bleeding that I was experiencing was coming from the placenta abruption. I could have bled to death. I could have died in that room. And I mean, the pressure was so bad and I was bleeding so much that I was telling Steven, I was like, oh, babe, I feel like I'm about to die. I feel like I'm bleeding to death. And I was like, oh, I remember like doing like this. And I had to like jump up and like put myself like up. Like I felt like I was finna die. Literally. And after the placenta came out and she saw that it was abrupted, they said they had to send it off. She had something in her hand, the doctor did, and she was going all the way up into my uterus, and she was doing like a motion like this. It was very painful, but because I had epidural, it wasn't as painful as it would have been. She was trying to stop me from bleeding, and she had to keep doing it, and I was still bleeding a lot. They had to end up giving me a shot in my hip to stop me from bleeding. The shot that they give, let's talk about that shot. If you have to get that shot to stop you from bleeding, you're gonna have diarrhea. TMI, but you're gonna have diarrhea. And I mean, that Imodium that they give you don't work. So but she gave me the shot and she put Cytotec in my butt to stop me from bleeding, to essentially save my life, because I would have bled to death. Bottom line is, we have our baby girl. If I had waited until Monday to be induced, I would have lost my life. I wouldn't be here today to tell you this story. My story would be narrated by other people's perception. It would be narrated from the perception of Stephen, or maybe the perception of Skylar and Stephen Jr., because they were there. It would have been narrated by a nurse who didn't care. Narrated by a doctor who didn't know. The bottom line is that if I had waited until Monday, my story may not have been told. I would have been just one more black woman that died during childbirth in America, a developed country. Because Americans, no matter what the skin color is, Americans do not care about other Americans. How could you be sitting there eating when I'm bleeding to death and you haven't even contacted my doctor? I thank God for his grace and mercy upon my life. I thank God for those who prayed for me, had me on their mind, took the time to pray for me. I'm so glad they prayed, took the time to pray, because somebody prayed for me. And while I'll take prayer over any gift, any Valentine's Day gift, any anniversary gift, any gift, it's because prayers don't expire. And the prayers of the righteous man availeth much. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to introduce you guys to the baby. in another video. But for right now, keep your faith on fleek. And always remember, strive to be on top because the bottom is already too crowded. Send me and baby girl prayers. We don't need gifts, prayers. Send us prayers for her life, for my life. Because I never know if my baby gonna need the very prayer that you say today. She might need to cash that prayer in 20 years. And I want it to be available to her. So if you could do that for me, I appreciate it. You're amazing. You're awesome. Have a wonderful day. Keep your faith on fleek and always remember, strive to be on top because the bottom is already too crowded. Have a good day.
My dreams, everything alright, everything alright. I'ma chase my dreams, everything go right, everything go right. I'ma chase my dreams, everything alright, everything alright. I'ma chase my dreams, everything alright.